And we are back. Whoa, it's been a long time. I have not recorded an actual video. Oops, sorry about that. New camera. Haven't recorded an actual video in quite some time. We won't go into how long it's been. It's been a while. But I've been busy. Just insanely busy. All kinds of new stuff. There's modern stuff, which is what a lot of stuff I'm going to show you today is. There's been some new Old West stuff. There's been some sci-fi stuff. I have just been building like crazy. So rather than keep you guys in suspense, I'm going to go ahead and go through some of the stuff that I've got up here. So first off, we're going to start off with trucks. These are... I've started to get into the Batman miniatures game. And in the case of that game, it's a modern game. But also I've been looking at things like, see what this is not a test, which is a post-apocalyptic kind of game. And see what, what was the other? There was one other that I was looking at. Where they're more modern games. So with it, you're looking more at, instead of being your deep sci-fi stuff, you're looking at stuff that you're going to see today. All kinds of things that you'll see around you. Well, since shipping and all that kind of stuff comes in handy and you need big cover because you have streets and those kind of things, I figured what better way than with trucks. Food trucks are really big now. I'm here in Chicago, so downtown practically every day there's a new food truck that pops up with something new. So I started looking around, and the guys for the Batman miniatures game, they do a truck, and it's a decent truck. It's one for SWAT, but they only do one. And the problem is, because they only do one, there's no variety to it. So I said, well, let me do my take on it and do something a little bit different, because there are a few things on theirs I didn't like. It's the right size and shape, and I dig the shape. I'm just not a big fan of the feel of it. It felt kind of boring because it's just your standard panel truck. So I decided to see what I could do with that same design and come up with something different. So these are the first 3 designs that came out of that. Each one of them, they're all the same basic footprint, but they have slight differences. So you'll notice that the grills are different on them. The roofs are going to be different. To just kind of separate them out a little bit, as well as the window arrangements on them. So we have everything from a multi-window one that's completely blank to some of them that I've already started to put logos and graphics on, so that they could be anything from, like in the case of this one right here, would be more of a delivery van type design. Whereas this, you'd have kind of the food truck where they've closed the windows on, and then you have a food truck where the windows are open. So this way it gives you kind of something different on each one of them. These are just a few of the examples of how they're engraved. I'm working on a bunch of different company engravings for you to choose from, so that you can do different engravings and come up with different things for them and have them so that they fit your style and what you're wanting for your table. As well as, if you wanted to, you just reverse the panels. So the right and left panels, you reverse them, and then you end up with a completely blank slate that you can paint however you want. Or, and I will show you a little bit later, you can even do a wrap on them. So similar to the way that they do food trucks now, if you notice that a lot of these really, really intricate designs you see on vehicles is not paint. It's a giant vinyl sticker. Well, why not mimic that same thing at a smaller scale? So when I get to one of the other trucks, I'll show you kind of my test of doing one of those. And to give you an idea of where it's going. So this would be kind of the first basic truck, but there are others. So I'm going to go ahead and swap out some of the stuff, and I'll be right back. Okay, so you saw the first 3 trucks. Well, I got those done, and I'm a bit of a politics junkie. I admit it. The few of you that know me face to face or know me from Facebook really know I'm heavy into politics. And at the time that I was coming up with this one, one of the Trump people exclaimed, "If Hillary wins, there will be taco truck on every corner." Now, personally for me, that's kind of a good thing because I like my tacos. I ain't gonna lie. I'll eat tacos every day. I don't care. Some guys it's chimichangas, me it's tacos, but we'll get into that another day. So I figured, let's do a taco truck. And then to play with it a little bit because Trump has also said some seriously silly stuff, I said, let's make it border wall tacos. Because if you're going to have tacos, you got to go south of the border. If you're going to put a wall in place, you might as well be protected from it. So this is kind of my take on something like that. This one is actually a lot taller than the other one. I'm going to try and grab one of the other ones so I can put it up here so you can see that it's actually a taller design, and I wanted it that way. I wanted something that was a little bit more substantial. If you ever have seen some of the food trucks, you notice that they come in all different sizes, just like regular shipping trucks, just like any other truck. So this one I did a little bit different design on, made it a little bit taller. And we'll go ahead and get this guy out of here. But I also ended up saying, remember how I was saying you could wrap them? Well, I started playing with that same truck design. That's actually the same chassis. It's just this one, what I ended up doing, I got out my printer, did some color prints, and decided to print and wrap it with paper. Now, obviously, this is kind of overkill taking it this far. Normally, what I'd recommend you doing if you're going to do something like this is stickers. You can get all different kinds of stickers, all different kinds of decals. I'm probably going to end up redoing this one or doing another one because, this is one of the prototypes. But I found a decent sticker set that I like. I was in the store, and what I'm going to probably do is paint another one of these up. I'm going to go ahead and paint it up yellow, just like this one. I'm going to use my airbrush to kind of do the fading in, and then I'm just going to put stickers and labels for all the writing because I unfortunately do not freehand very well when it comes to painting. It's kind of similar to what I had Jim, yes, Mr. Wapple did for me when he did this one for me. In the case of that, what he did with that is that's painted, and then what he put on top of it, whoops, we'll get him out of the middle. All of the writing and everything else you see on this one, those are actually just paper decals that were glued onto it and then painted over so it all blends in. So you could do that same kind of thing with something like this. So you don't have to be that perfect, I have to get every lettering line perfect kind of painter to still get a nice good finish with them. And that's one of the good things with it is it gives you those kind of options. So there are other designs though. So let me clear these two guys out. Because besides that, I'm also a video game guy. And I had to do an ice cream truck. If any of you have ever played the video game Twisted Metal, that was the inspiration for this one. I added a few additional things to it, such as the armored shutters on it, which you don't have to put into it when you build it yourself if you're building your own. Same thing forth, like I added a little step-down ramp at the back that can be removed, as well as this nice heavy-duty ram plate type bumper. So you could do something a little bit different with it. It's just a nice, simple, silly design, something that you can play with. Oddly enough, this one, if you're going to be at Adepticon 2017, you'll probably see a bunch of these. I'm running a Car Wars event this year, and I'm actually looking into scaling it up to use this size vehicle. So each team will get one of these vehicles, and they'll get a chance to play Car Wars on a bigger scale than the usual 1-inch paper tokens. So that would be that one. There's one more that I'm going to show in this video, and then I will do another video when we move on to, well, actually, I think I'll leave it at this one for this one because of just the number of cars that there are. So go ahead and try and get as many of these in the shot as I can for you. See how much space I've got on my trusty turntable. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit the last one on there. Let's try right there. Aha. Got them all on there. So that's what they'd look like. As I said, I'm using these with Batman miniatures, so just to give you an idea of what they look like scale wise when you start to put minis next to them. So you can see that you get a pretty neat feel, a nice grouping, tons of different options. That's really it for the food trucks. Check them out. They should be on the site shortly. Actually, probably before this video even goes up, because I got to go back and edit. And you'll get a chance to see them. Talk to you guys later.